The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy Lucanary Football Machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Straight cash, homie.
Starts now.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Zone Coverage Football Machine on the delightful Zone Coverage Podcast Network. What was DJ Khaled say? We the best!
Yeah.
We should have hired DJ Khaled to just yell that, although he's having some issues lately. Well, not lately, a couple months ago. That died down fast.
Yeah, probably our best move not to do that.
Unless he's changed his ways.
Yeah, and then, redemption tour zone coverage.
I'm your not so humble, Andy Carlson at Andy Carlson Show on the Tour Machine, and I have equity. This would have worked if Yinka was here, but more equity than Yinka's going to lose after Richie Incognito merged him with a free weight.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, did you not see? Yeah. So Yinka tweeted out like a year ago.
It was right after the Incognito weight incident.
Yeah. So do you remember the Incognito weight incident?
Vaguely.
Yeah. So Incognito threw a weight at someone, and then started whispering conspiratorially about the government being out to get him or something.
Yeah.
So Yinka tweeted out a sarcastic, "Richie Incognito is not a locker room problem," or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So today, Richie Incognito liked that tweet.
Today.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which
hashtag comeback season.
Yeah, I'm going to say, while you wouldn't be able to prove in a court of law that that's a threat, I would say Yinka's got to lay low for a little bit.
I would say so too. We should maybe call him. But isn't Incognito 35?
Sure.
Yeah. He was a Pro Bowler last year, though.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If he wasn't good, no one would care.
Also, the bill shifted from Amando's zone scheme last year, so it's I guess he's a scheme fit. Let's go.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Didn't Snoop Dogg or one of those kids throw a weight at USC?
No, but
or
almost.
P. Diddy or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Snoop Dogg about one of it, so it wasn't his kid, but it was
it was P. Diddy.
Oh, it was P. Diddy.
Yeah. It was P. Diddy.
Also, I think it was a kettlebell, too, so that would have done some damage.
Yeah.
I thought Snoop was chill.
Yeah, so Snoop's chill.
It was P.
Diddy. Yeah. P. Diddy, yeah.
They both have kids in college football programs that
Yes.
have both now left, I think, college football programs.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them are now with
Didn't Snoop try to
UCLA and Cal?
Snoop try to create, it wasn't quite LeVar Ball-esque, but his own league or something?
Brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the best college football son whose dad is well known but didn't play football?
Sorry, college football son whose dad is well known.
Yeah,
Did
so
not
we're
play college football.
We're talking about Torrey Hunter Jr.
Right, yes, that's
David
the first name
Robinson's
that
kid.
came to mind.
Yeah,
Is David Robinson's kid good? You would know, right?
he was a good tight end, except he retired.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, yeah, that's right. And Torrey Hunter's son famously knocked out, and now is actually an Angels prospect in our system.
Oh, well, congrats.
I don't think he can hit very well, but I think he's very fast.
Yeah.
He's Buxton.
He's a nice kid. He was in when Torrey Hunter was on the Twins. He would come in the locker room.
Would Brad Kaya count? Just
No, he
for
would not.
argument's sake? Okay.
Because he's not good.
Nick O'Leary?
It might be. And his alligator arms. He doesn't wear gloves. Does he wear gloves now, finally?
I don't know.
For some reason,
Is he still in the NFL? What?
I think he's still with the Bills, yeah. For some reason, that bugged the hell out of me. Watching Florida State that year, Jameis and Dalvin was on that team as a backup, and then Nick O'Leary just running out there with the short-ass arms and no gloves.
You know, Jameis Winston was a pitcher, too, for Florida State?
Yeah.
We all see that.
Okay, sorry.
Come on, Tom.
Now,
It's like Jeff Samardzija. Jeff Samardzija was a really good wideout for Notre Dame, and now he's pitching in the major leagues.
Still?
I believe so.
Who switches teams more, middle relievers or NBA players?
Middle relievers.
Middle relievers, because they're very plug and play. You don't really need to know. You can are you operating in a vacuum, basically?
Yeah. Or like, hell, I didn't even know that Yu Darvish was on like his third team.
I signed with the Cubs.
'Cause wasn't
Not
he a
very
big
good.
deal?
Texas. I think it's second team. I think he was with Texas the whole time.
Yeah.
He has not been very good.
Whatever. Something that has been very good, the show. Arif is here. Tom's here. Luke is not here.
Very Luke-like.
Scheduling conflicts.
Yes.
Yink is not here.
Scheduling conflicts with like himself.
His own schedule.
Yeah, right.
But it's all good. We're going to open up the phone lines. We'll talk to use people. Yes, use people. As well as we got a bunch of Twitter questions that we'll just plow through, just like Pac-Man Jones to that dude.
Hey, Wyatt just tweeted to me. He's saying he's trying to call in. Are you closing out Wyatt right now?
Let me...
Is the Skype not on?
One of the top 5
Skype
callers of this
probably is not.
podcast, according to me.
Tell Wyatt somebody did not turn on Skype. It usually does it automatically. Oh, no, it's because it needs a software update.
Yeah.
Well,
God.
we're going to do
Okay.
Twitter questions to start.
I was going to say that this is very on brand.
Yes.
I love how things are going. So, Arif, now, since we were dark one week, the 1 week a year, it's like, no, we don't take Thanksgiving off. We don't take Christmas off. We take off 4th of July. And only because it fell on a Wednesday. What was your take on the Kirk Cousins meet?
Oh, my God, that was
Meatgate.
weird.
Wait, what? Did I miss? I must have just been off
Yeah,
Twitter.
well, Kirk Cousins, he was doing off some 4th of July grilling, and he had some very odd-looking meat on the grill. Now, it's...
Oh my God, SB Nation has a story on this.
Yeah.
What the hell did Kirk Cousins grill on the
Yeah,
food?
like-
Yeah, that was Deadspin had a really fun one, too.
Because like they were saying, oh, it's kidneys. Like, no, it's a fillet, and the thing that looks like a kidney
It looks
is a
like it was
butt cut.
sous vide.
Yeah. See, that was my guess, where it was either pre-cooked or sous vide or reverse seared, or he's just really bad at grilling. I think Vanithorth brought up he's on the Tom Brady diet, so no carcinogen meat, so like no sear, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah, he did mention he's on the Tom Brady diet, but then you wouldn't be able to touch the grill at all, right? Because the grill itself introduces carcinogens.
Unless what I think Kirk might have done, maybe he was like, well, yeah, whatever, it's 4th of July, we're going to grill. But
Right.
I think he had the grill off. He put the meat on. He started the grill on low. It went for like 8 minutes. And then it might have been like one of those no-name steak things or one of those vacuum seal, like packaged steaks
Yeah.
ones. And so it got a weird color. It hadn't gotten flipped yet. And just that's my best guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I can see why people freak out, but there are a bunch of really like fine explanations for it being.
Yeah.
Because we see the end product too, and it looks kind of normal. Maybe not as much of a sear as you want on a grill.
Yeah.
But like it looks fine.
I miss the days of Whizzinator, Love Boat, going 120 on Highway 60 head down to Mankato. Now we have this. And I blame Kirk Cousins. Because he's such a nice milquetoast dude that this is our controversy now. Hey, Kirk, why does your meat look funky?
Yeah.
We missed a lot of calls.
I mean,
You don't say.
we've also had oh my God, I can't believe Christian Ponder got married in Wisconsin. That was a pretty good one.
That
Hey,
one was pretty funny.
is this Wyatt?
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Wyatt. Sorry, Wyatt.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
You had one job.
Wyatt's on board. I like Wyatt.
Dude, so I actually had a couple questions. One, if Stephon Diggs doesn't get signed in the next 5 days, I don't know, maybe I'll be a Packers fan. Who knows? Two, how long do you guys think that Everson Griffin and Linval Joseph have left, like, to play at the caliber they're playing? Because I feel like that's got to fall off in the next 2 or 3 years. Like, because they're both, 28, 29?
Yeah,
well,
Linval's 29.
Everson's going to be 31. Yeah, he's because I remember he's at the age where Jared played his last snap with the Vikings, so he's right there.
I would say Everson is he's got about 2 years left, which is I think where how much Allen had after he put his record season in. Hashtag real record.
Yeah, it is. Screw you, Brett.
But Linval, it's. I mean, from what we know, nose tackles can play for like a long time at a really high level. I mean, not just Pat Williams, but like Ted Washington and Vince Wilfork and so on. So, Linval.
You mean nose tackles and Cameron Wake? can play for.
Yeah, nose tackles plus Cameron Wake. Yeah.
Well, no, that's because he played in for so many years in the CFL. That's cryotherapy.
Yeah, right. Where the snaps don't matter and the points don't count.
The hyperbolic number. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, so Linval probably has probably closer to 4 or 5 years, which would be stunning. That would be great. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was only 2-3 more years. But Everson, that's the bigger worry for me.
So I guess the reason I asked this is because Sheldon Richardson is, I want to say 26, 27. So wouldn't it honestly make more sense to keep Sheldon Richardson instead of keeping Everson Griffin? I mean, I understand right now.
Man.
Understand what I'm saying. Right now, yes, Everson Griffin is more essential. But he's probably, Sheldon Richardson has much more time in time. And he can also, I 100% believe Sheldon Richardson could play right in. I mean, I think he could play
This is
both.
the fastest I've heard you talk. You've been thinking about this, haven't you?
No, or in the pre-workout. Are you in the Mexican stuff that's not even regulated?
He's on Rockstar.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that stuff that USADA was like, no. Yeah.
Need more. This is the stuff that you can't just mix in water. They're good.
What? You're not team dry scoop like those jabronis?
Oh yeah, I forgot that's cool now. Shit.
Yeah.
I gotta start being cool.
Wait, now why is this all leading up to the hashtag Trade Everson movement?
You're on to it.
Wow.
Straight Everson dry scoop.
Okay,
Straight Everton, straight to the dome. Listen, all I'm saying is that at 31 years old, like, obviously you would love to keep him until he's 35 and hope he plays and maintains what he's doing. And it honestly feels like these are the best 2 years I've seen him play, this year and last year. So you would think this is his prime. He's got at least 2-3 more years left. But, I mean, it's going to kill us to watch Sheldon Richardson. Because Sheldon Richardson came to the Vikings because he knows I'm going to make a resume. I've got Daniil Hunter on one side. I've got Linval Joseph right next to me and Everson Griffin on the other. So who are they going to single up? This is going to get me a huge payday. Well, and honestly, I would rather see us, be able to retain Sheldon Richardson and then, keep Everson Griffin. Because Everson Griffin is taking what? He's taking like $12 million a year right now. Is it $12, $13 million a year?
Something like that.
So it just, with a cap the way it is, if you could keep somebody, and that's what sucks, because Sheldon Richardson on a 1-year deal, so it's nonetheless. But I was just kind of wondering what you guys thought about re-signing Sheldon Richardson, and obviously one of those pieces got to go, and it kind of sucks that the piece that's the oldest is Everson Griffin.
If you had to, Wyatt, if you had to pick between keeping Diggs or Sheldon Richardson, who you got?
Oh, Diggs. That's Diggs. Because, you already have 3 solid defensive linemen, so though the 3-tech is pretty important, Diggs is, if you're talking to me, and this is obviously my Vikings, fandom coming out, I'm putting Diggs as a top 5 receiver. I think he's going to go in this year. I think he's going to put up in between 1,200 to 1,400 yards because he can't stay healthy. But if he can play 16 games with Kirk Cousins, I truly believe he'll put up 1,200 to 1,400 yards.
This is the Samuel L. Jackson in Unbreakable argument. If he can stay healthy, he'd be a hell of a villain.
Exactly. It just, I don't know. Diggs, I know is going to get signed. I saw a thing that Barr was going to get signed too, but
okay. Let me talk about that. Let me talk about that real quick. Vikings Twitter has been full of rumors that Stephon Diggs is about to get signed. I've heard these rumors for about a week and a half now that Stephon Diggs is like a day away from signing, and I want to know where everybody is getting these rumors that no one else is like reporting on.
Well, it's like how Native American rain dances always worked. They just danced till it rained. It's exactly like this.
Right. Yeah. So like. That's just funny to me. I wanted to address the thing you said earlier about Sheldon Richardson versus Everson Griffin. I think one thing you have to keep in mind, so I'll let you ask your question after this. One thing you have to keep in mind is that next year the crop of defensive tackles is astounding. It's incredibly good. I don't think we've ever seen a crop of defensive tackles as good as this in a long time. Now, obviously, are any of them going to be as good as J.J. Watt turned out to be? No, but or probably not anyway. But in terms of prospects, you could line up, in terms of pre-draft grades, you could probably line up, Aaron Donald and Leonard Williams, and then 3 of the guys in this class as top 5 guys over the past 6 or 7 years. And so not all of them are necessarily like 3 techniques, but it might be easier to get a defensive tackle in the draft next year. And so it might be harder to retain. It might be harder to try and retain a defensive tackle and go after an edge rusher than the other way around. So it might be easier, given the nature of next year's draft, to go after defensive tackles. So that's the first thing. And I think the second thing is we have to keep in mind that they're not equally important. There's been a bunch of work done by Eric Eager at Pro Football Focus that talks about how edge players are just more valuable than inside rushers for a couple of reasons. Not only because they create more pressure, which is true and important and good, but because their pressure is more valuable off the edge than pressure coming up the middle. It's more likely to cause problems for the quarterback in terms of interceptions or incompletions. It's more likely to lead to sacks. It's more likely to lead to fumbles. And so edge rushers are just more important than interior defenders, something I didn't believe like 6 months ago, or at least the individual rushing thing. With all that in mind, I would not move on from Everson until we were confident in the solution behind him. Now, that could be Ade Aruna. Maybe he develops really quickly. Maybe Tashawn Bauer is really just ready to start or something like that. But I don't want to move on until we get the answer there. And I'm super confident in the Vikings to be able to find an answer at edge rusher, but I'm equally as confident for them to be able to find an answer at defensive tackle. So with all other things being equal, I might rather take the hit on Everson Griffin's age and let Sheldon Richardson move on, even though he's 2 years younger or 3 years younger.
It'll be interesting to see, too, Anthony Barr and how they use him, because I've seen talks of him going down more on the line this year, and I hope that
same thing with DJ Khaled
and move him down. But, being in and out would be good. Obviously keep Everson Griffin a little bit more fresh, too. And honestly, I think he has potential there at defensive line. I mean, obviously, I don't want him to be his full-time position, like a linebacker. He needs to be dropping back in his zone, so on and so forth. But I do think he has pretty good potential to play in, probably more suited for left end than right end. But, that could be a possibility. But who knows, man? I guess my last question, you guys, it's a little off Vikings topic. But so me and some buddies were talking about this, of course, in bar talk. But y'all know who Tua is, right? The Alabama quarterback.
Yeah.
How crazy is it going to be if he goes? He has a chance to be the best quarterback ever to walk the face of the earth. I mean, it almost has a chance. And let me finish this statement.
Jalen
Hurts could literally be, like a commercial. You know those like the strangest guy commercials, or what is it called? The world's whatever guy. Like, that's going to be this guy. It's like, his first start as a college quarterback, he won a national championship.
Most interesting man in the world. Is that what you're getting
at? If that guy
goes
on to win 6 Super Bowls, no one will ever be better than him. There's no chance.
Yeah, I guess you could have said the same thing about Cardale Jones, right?
12 gauge. Let's go.
Should have came out as a redshirt sophomore.
I like Tua a lot. I don't know if I thought about it like that, but you're only speaking about possibilities, and I can't say that those possibilities don't exist. So yeah, sure. I don't see a reason that you're wrong. I just don't see a ton of reasons that you're right. How does that sound?
I just want his first start in the NFL to be the Super Bowl where he wins it. That's it.
That would be pretty dope. Actually, I like the idea that
sit behind Tom Brady and Tom Brady get injured on the last quarter of the Super Bowl, and I want him to be up by 30, and Tua's just first starts a Super Bowl win.
What if Tua enters the NFL and he refuses to sign with the team until the Super Bowl, and they just have him start for the team?
He's in sweatpants until halftime.
Right,
In the crowd.
The tearaway pants.
He's
he's like Cam Newton.
He's like the backyard version of all-time quarterbacks, except only for the second half of Super Bowls.
We refuse. My agent refuses to speak to anyone till week 17 of the NFL season.
Right,
so we'll see who's all where when the time comes.
Yeah,
on where I'm going to go.
It's just
but
all
anyways,
Doug
that's all I thought I'd
Williams's.
leave you guys with. I'm going to head out of here. So I'll holler at you guys next week.
All right. See you at.
LA.
How many calls?
We got one more.
Oh, the Super Bowl ringer is a great idea.
That is really funny.
Hey, caller, who we got?
Hey, it's Alex in Baroqua.
Alex in Baroqua. Hey, Alex, sorry. Wasn't Timmy Smith, the running back from Washington, Wasn't he basically Super Bowl ring? Because he wasn't told he was going to start until the game.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Definitely.
Anyways, Alex, what's going on? Hey, what were you mixing today? That looked like a pipe bomb.
What? No, that's wine, dude. That's yeah, no, I was racking it over from the primary fermenter to the secondary fermenter, so it actually
This all seems like
looks
code,
nice
and if you end up in
and-
Gitmo, Godspeed.
Yeah, something like that. No, the bottom of it was the trub, so it's like the yeast.
Oh, yeah,
leftover
this
yeast
definitely
and
sounds like
oak
code.
chips and whatnot.
Hey, do you remember the episode of The Simpsons where they went to France and they found the winemakers were putting antifreeze in the wine?
No, I don't remember
There's
that
also
one.
a Simpsons
I
episode.
think I've seen most Simpsons episodes too. I don't remember that one though.
Well, there you go. Anyways, what's on your mind?
So theoretical scenario. I don't know. I always love talking theoretical trades during the dead part of the season.
Everson.
Let's say
Andy's all about that.
Terrence Newman. Let's say Terrence Newman is old and bad. Let's say Mackenzie Alexander is just bad. And let's say Mike Hughes isn't ready to step up in the slot role. All, possible scenarios.
Sure.
Do you call Carolina and get Captain Munnerlyn?
I think he would refuse to report.
Yeah, I'd probably not. I mean, there's already kind of a crunch on the roster when it comes to cornerbacks, right? So, especially when
Yeah,
you
I
consider
guess.
like
Like-
Colton Hill, right? Like, I mean, they're still going to keep Mac on the roster, and I guess they probably wouldn't keep Terrence on the roster in that case. But I mean, it's like tough to figure out which cornerbacks are going to make the roster already.
Sure.
In the case where you can just like say bye to Terrence, I guess it's a little easier. But I don't know that you get Cat. What about Pac-Man? He clearly has, a pretty explosive first step, right?
Zimmer
So,
connection.
yeah.
All right, so let's say the scenario is that like you're just killing it. Like you look like a team that's destined for the Super Bowl, except like teams are just picking on the slot position, and like that's where the games are close, and it looks like
It sounds a little
you
too
could
familiar.
seal the
but
deal
okay.
if you have a sure thing at corner. Does that change your answer at all? If like everything else I said
Pac-Man
remains
can
true,
play corner.
everyone else is just bad.
Pac-Man can play the slot. He's played the slot before. I'm all in on Pac-Man. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, all right, fine. We'll roll with Pac-Man instead of Captain Munnerlyn for some reason. Hey, who's your number one pick in fantasy this year? I'm gonna horn in on some of your
what's scoring?
fantasy
PPR,
episodes
probably
later in the
Antonio.
summer.
Yeah, if it's PPR, it's probably Antonio. I could be convinced of Odell. I'm a zero RB kind of guy, so I'm not feeling any of the running backs, especially this year.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I guess you could get Adrian Peterson.
I'm running back heavy. Like, I'm still going to go Lev. I'm still going to go David Johnson. I do really like Saquon, even though he's getting overdrafted in a lot of spots. I think his ADP is like 6 right now. I think that might be a little much, but it wouldn't shock me if he is offensive rookie of the year.
Every time I try to go zero running back, I suck. Like I can't. I don't know what it is.
Then don't do it.
Well, here's what people get wrong about zero running back. Like, they go into the draft thinking, all right, zero running back. And then they get the first or second pick, and they're like, all right, still zero running back. Let's go. But no, if, you have, it's a 10, 12-team league, picks 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And that it makes sense. Like, everyone's going to grab running backs first, and then you grab Odell. If you're lucky enough, maybe Antonio Brown falls. Then you go with that.
You guys do snake as opposed to auction?
I mean, I've done both.
Yeah.
I think auction's so much better.
Yeah, I think auction is better.
Yeah.
But it takes longer. And,
True. Yeah, you kind of
tests
have
your
it
patience.
takes like 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, but you have to have people that have the patience to do it, because you do an auction and half the time,
Yeah.
people drop out
And
halfway through, and then you have the computer auto bidding, and that just destroys the whole thing.
Yeah, and like with snake drafts, I feel like you can like check out, especially if you've got one of like the back-to-back picks, and you just go back, see who's available, check it against your small list that you made while you were waiting an hour or whatever, and then make your pick, right? But with auction, you always have to be paying attention with auctions.
Yeah, it's
that
true.
sucks.
It's true.
But I
like the
love
variable
idea.
strategies and
Yeah.
Then you shoot your wad, and then you forget about players, and you're like, crap.
Yeah, I mean, they're a running back. I mean, if a running back falls, you should take him. I still don't think there are many running backs that are worth pick one in the sense that they predictably give you pick one value, where receivers are much more stable in their ability to give you what you predict. I think that's especially true this year. I think in previous years it'd be easier to go with Johnson or Bell, but I mean this year it feels weirder. So for me, Antonio, especially in PPR, or definitely in PPR. In non-PPR, I'd probably go with Johnson.
So here's my scorching fantasy hot take. Todd Gurley is the DeMarco Murray of like 3 years ago, where's he's going to be the top fantasy performer, and nobody's going to have the balls to take him one overall.
I mean, I could see that.
Happen.
I think there's a lot of signs to what he did last year that would indicate that it's not repeatable or sustainable. But then again, he plays in a way that's really friendly to fantasy because A, he catches the ball a lot. But B, because the Rams rely so heavily on play action, they do like to run the ball into the outside where in fantasy you only get rewarded essentially with home run type players for big gains, and you don't get penalized for that much for small gains or negative yardage. And so having a boom bust guy like Todd Gurley that they feed a lot, so it kind of evens out, helps out. So, I mean, I could see it with Todd Gurley. But, I mean, there's a lot there that you're like, I don't know if that's going to happen again.
Do you think he's hit his ceiling? Not fantasy-wise, just like as an NFL running back?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not a bad ceiling, so, yeah.
Is it above or below Chester Taylor?
Oh, above.
It's definitely above. Yeah.
Okay.
Although Chester Taylor did have 1,000 yards in 2006. Oh. I was
That's
like,
why the Vikings shouldn't have drafted.
I'll let you guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. See you, bud.
Got another one.
Would you make your own wine?
We've considered it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, caller, who we got?
They might have drafted.
Hey, it's Michael calling in from Monterey, California.
Michael, you seem like a guy who would make your own booze. What would you make?
I'd
Beer,
probably
wine,
just play
illegal
safe
hard liquor?
and something with some wine.
Yeah, my neighbor used to make dandelion wine.
That sounds terrible.
That doesn't sound like a thing. I'm pretty sure he's just making meth.
The dandelion wine.
That
Did his
was
house
code.
explode at some
Yeah.
point?
Mike, what's on your mind tonight, man?
Well, I was thinking about this whole Rob Gronkowski thing, and what do you think the chances are he ends up in the NFC North? I think he's going to get traded, personally.
Because Lions would be
So
the
I'm
only
just
spot.
looking at the-
Oh, yeah, Bob Quinn got some Patriots ties. Also Patricia. All right, let's do it.
It would be hilarious for Graham and Gronk to be on the same team for once. I could see that because you'd have Jimmy Graham and then you'd have a good tight end.
Yeah. No, because they could talk like Jimmy Graham, be like, "Yeah, I have my pilot's license." Like Gronk would be like, "Oh, I have my diver's license." That'd actually be great. They should make a TV show. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Or just Gronk doing things in Appleton.
Yeah, I mean, every team could use Gronk. Do you think he's going to get traded?
I do. He still hasn't been signed yet. And my mind just gravitates to the stupid Packers because they've got that extra first-round pick that was just handed
Oh,
to
my
them.
God, you're right.
I don't know.
I don't know. The splits with for Tom Brady with and without Gronk are so dramatic that I think it wouldn't make sense for the Patriots to trade. And they tend to make decisions that make sense, except for the Garoppolo one, which we all know is because of Brady. But if Brady is running things, then there's no way they trade Gronk, right? But if he does get traded, to talk about the scenario, for some reason I'm really feeling Seattle. That sounds right to me.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I can see
Gronk
Seattle
kneels.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I could see Gronk going to Seattle. There's no way he goes to an AFC team. Yeah, the NFC North makes a lot of sense. The Falcons would be fun as hell. I don't really see it. I don't see the Saints. I guess I could see the Panthers.
Oh, my God.
Saints would be stupid.
No,
They would
Panthers
have
is
anything
kind
to
of
give
fun,
up,
though.
though.
Panthers would be fun.
Yes.
Third leg Greg and Gronk.
My name's Drew Reg.
Greg and Gronk and North Turner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's a party. That's a party.
rough. Yeah.
Norv's offense is always tight end friendly. Or something like that.
Gronk's like, what kind of alcohol do you have in your fridge, Norv?
Norv seems like a Merlot guy.
Really? I could see
a
like
dark,
Scotch.
dry red.
Yeah.
Anyways, I do want to. Ooh, who do you think is more likely to get traded, Earl Thomas or Gronk?
E.T.
Ooh. I think Earl Thomas. I think the Seahawks are just cleaning house.
Yeah, they're probably not going to get Gronk. Never mind. I just like the idea.
I like the Panthers idea.
Yeah. I think ET is more likely, and I think for the reason that you said, I think they are cleaning house. They do like all of the safeties that they have on the roster, but ET is kind of like a different animal. So I don't know.
Yeah, Russ is after they trade Earl Thomas. Russ is going to be like that guy. That Will Smith Fresh Prince meme where an empty house.
Where did everybody go? I like the idea of Russ seeing everything that Seattle's doing and just like retiring Carson Palmer style.
Yeah, going baseball.
Yeah. It's like, look, I got enough money. You can trade me or you cannot. Those are your options.
I'm going to go play for the Yankees.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Do the Yankees have his rights now?
I think
they
so.
do. Yeah, they got him from the Rangers.
He could go play with Tebow. Tebow is Mets, but
Mets. That's a different Tom.
But I'm just saying, he could go play Double A with Tebow for the the Rough Ponies or whatever.
The Rumble Ponies.
Rumble Ponies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rumble Ponies.
Yeah. God, it's kind of weird to think about ET and Gronk on different teams.
Yeah, but so is life. Alan Page was a Bear.
It's true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, Mike, appreciate your call, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
I like how it sounded like he just hung up.
Yeah.
Appreciate your call. Bye.
Yeah, we just missed a caller, but he'll be back.
Oh, well. Dive into
He'll
some of
come
these
back.
questions. Longtime friend, support of the show, Matt and Diana Lutman. All right, so he emailed this in. Ideal football weekend, i.e. attending U.S. Bank Stadium. He's got a couple things here. Saturday, Twin Cities touristy activity. Saturday night dinner out. Something you sneak into the game. And a post-game celebration location. So basically make a whole weekend here in the cities if you're from out of town.
What touristy thing do you think people should do?
Could you catch in first half? Like, I feel like it'd be expensive, but
Well, just walk by and get your picture taken next to Prince. That's all people want.
I mean, if you do First Ave, then you can go to like Izzy's Ice Cream and
true.
hang out by the Stone Arch Bridge.
Yeah. It's Minnehaha Falls. Toss that in. See, dinner. Where would you go?
A bunch of great places in Minneapolis.
I know Minneapolis is really good food.
Yeah.
If you want wings, Runyon's, which it's the other side of town, but no, you don't like.
See,
Runyon's?
if you're making the entire Twin Cities experience, I would trek to St. Paul, go to Mancini's.
Well,
Mancini's
place.
is solid.
Festival's great. No, I put a whole Super Bowl guide together.
Yeah, go to the site.
Just Google zonecovers.com and Super Bowl guide.
All right. What would you sneak in?
Oh, interesting. Like a flask.
Yeah, that's
if you
tough.
go for cold.
I mean, that's tough to sneak because you have to keep that thing nice and warm, if you know what I mean.
Do sneak in a banner.
Yeah. And post game, I always love Glicks. I know that people don't like it. I don't
really?
care. I love Glicks.
No, I like Glicks.
Yeah. Or the local's also really good. Caller, who we got?
Hey, it's Alex from Chicago. What's up?
Alex from Chicago. What's going on, man?
Not much. What are you guys talking about tonight?
Glicks. Get the tower. It's phenomenal.
What would you do if you came to the Twin Cities for a game? What's your
what's your
rotation?
Yeah, what's your ideal weekend?
So I would hit the Mall of America. That's a touristy thing to do.
Camp
I
Snoopy.
guess it is.
Bring Camp Snoopy back.
I would hit a Blue Door while I'm there.
Of course.
Yeah, naturally.
Duh.
And probably go to Surly.
That's a solid.
good.
That's a solid weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's your
So,
question?
I didn't really have a question. I was just calling to see what's up.
Yeah.
But Andy, thank goodness you got content out this week, man. I was going through some withdrawals.
Yeah,
That was
no.
tough.
It was weird last week, just sort of sitting on my hands. I didn't know what to do. Like, I'm bad at vacation.
Can you imagine?
not really my thing.
Because the NFL is going to Vegas.
Yeah.
They just create their own summer league, which is just like
That would be sweet.
How funny
Everyone
would
would
that
die
be?
in the heat, though.
Yeah, it would not be good.
Yeah. Well, I guess you have an indoors at the new stadium that might not be built, but we'll see. Yeah.
Oops.
Why
is it not going to be built? Public money?
The usual kerfuffles.
Mafia doesn't want it.
It was a really poorly planned out sort of not like midnight Mayflower moving trucks like the Colts.
But it screwed Oakland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And also, of course, in such bowl haircut fashion of Davis is like, oh yeah, we still have to be here 2 years, maybe 3.
It's
still come to the game.
I actually think going to Vegas is smart. I think leaving the 6th largest market is not. But that's just me.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So supplemental draft, that's a lottery system?
Apparently, yeah.
I did not know that.
That sounds so weird to me that because I saw a here are the people that won the like the lottery.
Yeah,
thing.
the Raiders won.
Yeah, and that seems dumb, but I guess okay. But like teams are separated into a couple of different groups. So like teams with like I think it's 6 or fewer wins, and then non-playoff teams with more than 6 wins, and then playoff teams, and then there's a lottery, but it's like a weighted lottery, and so it's like the NBA draft, I guess, and then. That part I learned when I found out that there was a lottery. Then the rest goes as I remember. You submit bids blindly for which round you want to select a player, and then they go over who has the highest bid for which player, and then they award that player. It was weird to see people tweet out like the first round is done, no players are selected, and it's like, well, that's not really how it works. It's not like they were like, now it is the first round. Who wants to give up over? Like, it wasn't like that. Teams submit where they would take a player is essentially what it is.
It's a big email chain.
Yeah, essentially.
And then everyone's like, stop hitting reply all. Please stop hitting reply all.
So what do you guys think of the third round pick?
Sam Beal, I don't know a ton about him. Some people said that he I was talking to a couple of people and they said they would absolutely give up a third round pick for him. I heard people say that had he been able to play a full year in this year, it is more likely than not that he'd play himself into a second or first round pick. He's a bigger player, I think. I know Adonis Alexander is supposed to be like 6'2" and a half or whatever, but
I feel like if you name your kid Adonis, that's setting up the kid up for failure.
Yeah, right.
It's like, hey, I just want to weigh 250 and play Overwatch.
Yeah, but I didn't. Right,
hater.
I didn't watch a ton of Sam Beal or Adonis Alexander. The people I respect say Sam Beal is an incredibly good player, and they would have expected him to go higher in the actual draft in 2019. So yeah, third round pick seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wish I had more questions for you guys.
It's okay.
This time of year.
Everyone from out of town wants to go to the mall, and everyone who lives here wouldn't go to the mall with a gun to your face.
That's like Times Square.
Yeah.
So I've been to Minnesota twice now, I think, and I did the Mall of America the first time, and the second time I did the Egan outlets, and the outlets were by far better.
Oh, yeah.
Or was that Eden Prairie? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a funny movie.
Yeah. Anyways, hey, thanks for calling in, man. Keep doing
all right.
doing great things with feet down there.
All right. See you later. Bye.
What kind of doctor would you not want to be?
Jesus, Tom.
Sorry, didn't turn down the volume.
Like his feet up there?
I guess.
Hello?
Hey, caller, who we got?
Hey, this is Josh from Los Angeles.
Josh
calling
from LA.
New Orleans.
Not okay.
Not that LA. Yeah.
Why are you on the lam, Josh? who are you hiding from?
The show I'm working on now is in New Orleans. Even though I live in Los Angeles, I'm working here in New Orleans.
Ah, sweet. What's the show? Are you at liberty to say?
Oh, I am. It's the TV version of The Purge. It's going to air on USA Network this fall. So
hey,
keep
sweet.
a lookout.
What's it called?
The Purge.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyways, what's on your mind now, man?
Hey, well, I've been thinking about it, and as much as obviously I want both Stephon Diggs and Anthony Barr to be re-signed. But if there is only one, I think that we should focus more on Anthony Barr. Again, I think Stephon Diggs is one of the best wide receivers, but he might end up outplacing himself contract-wise. And I think it might be, not 100%, but easier to replace wide receiver production at an all-pro level than it would be to replace linebacker production at an all-pro level. And based on the depth that we have at both, the Vikings have at both positions, I think it would be smarter to hang on to Barr over Diggs. And I was curious what you guys thought about that.
I think historically it's generally easier to replace a linebacker production, but given the unique role that Anthony Barr plays, it might be a little bit more difficult. The thing is, like, for me, it's maybe it's just because of being conditioned as a Vikings fan, is that it's so surprising to be able to have not just one good receiver, but like two, because you have to go all the way back to like 2009, and 2009 is Sidney Rice. Like, that barely counts. Like, it's been a while since we've had a really good receiver, and but the Vikings have had like pretty good linebackers for a while. And so it's easier for me to be like, nah, hang on to the receiver, hang on to the receiver, hang on to the receiver. I think risks do tend to be more important in terms of the relationship to like winning games. I do think that the talent of the offense drops off more from like a percentage perspective, because it kind of just runs through Diggs, Thielen, and to some small extent Rudolph and hopefully Cook. Whereas the defense, you've got like a bunch of players, and so if you lose one player, the overall quality doesn't drop as much. I don't know. This is a hard one, and obviously, hopefully, you say, hey, they sign both, and it sounds like they want to. I guess I would pick. I don't know. I keep changing. I used to say I would pick Barr over Diggs, but I don't know. I'm kind of convincing myself that I'd rather have Diggs, just because it is more difficult, I think, than a lot of people think to find and replace a receiver.
I mean, yeah, I don't, like I said, I didn't want to make it sound like, just grab any guy that's available in free agency or in the draft and we can replace Stephon Diggs. I don't think that's the case at all. But I think that's the same case with Anthony Barr. I mean, when Zimmer's first year, when he was here, he had a top 10 pick, and he zeroed in on Anthony Barr. So I think he probably plays, I think we already, as a fan base, believe he plays a huge role on that defense, but perhaps he plays a bigger one than when we even realize. I don't know if it's he wears the green sticker, doesn't he? If it's a leadership
he's got the green dot,
on top of that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. And to find, looking at free agents coming up, I don't see anyone that I would think is, I got to get over Anthony Barr. KJ Wright is going to be a free agent, but he'll probably be signed by Seattle. Michael Kendricks, they already tried to get him back once, and he went to Cleveland.
But he knows he would start if they let go of Anthony Barr, whereas he didn't know he was going to start in the current environment where Anthony Barr is actually on the roster. So, I mean, that might have been what did it for. Not that I feel like he's got a clear starting path in Cleveland, but it clearly he thinks he does.
Yeah, I mean, he must have thought he had a better opportunity. That's why he ended up there. And maybe they think the same, and they're going to try to keep him there. So, again, I think, because we're blessed to have Adam Thielen as well, it would hurt less to lose Diggs than Barr. I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and forth on it, because as much as I love them both, if I had to pick one, I think I'd still go with Barr.
Well, what's the bigger drop-off, Diggs to Treadwell or Barr to, I don't know, Gideon?
Or like Eric Wilson?
I still think it's Barr to one of the other ones.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Because, it'd be great, to have, we have Michael Kendricks, or, Michael Kendricks? Micah Kendricks?
Yeah.
Kendricks. the Kendricks brother that we do have, and that would be a great if he was the top linebacker. But it's everything behind them that I feel is where it really gets muddled. And they've been taking a linebacker every year, and there's yet to be one to really take over that third position or that rotating position. So I feel Barr losing him would have a much bigger impact.
Yeah, probably. Plus, it's always tough to lose your first love.
That's true.
That's true. I mean, we already lost Teddy from that first round, so how do we get rid of Barr now?
No.
All right, we got to keep Barr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. We almost made it through the whole show without a Teddy reference.
78 on Madden, I guess.
Oh, that's almost 82.
I know.
Hey, here we go.
People still care about Madden ratings?
I don't know. It's slow. It's July. Everything's hot. We're out of ice cream. I don't know.
And I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Personally, I haven't had Madden since I think Eddie George was on the cover.
Wow.
So NCAA was my game.
Eddie George.
Rip. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, screw you, Ed
One day it'll
O'Bannon,
be-
trying to get college players paid.
I'm all for
Jackass.
college players getting paid,
Yeah,
especially for their likeness.
absolutely. Hey, Josh, appreciate you calling in. Good luck with the show, and hopefully it's going to be awesome.
Thanks for having my call, guys. Great as always.
I hope he's in. Actually, we should ask what his job was on the show.
His job on
Interesting.
the Purge.
Yeah. He's a grip.
Purge-related job.
He's a grip. You think he's like a assistant PA?
I doubt.
Oh, maybe he's on the show.
Maybe we'll see him.
No. Maybe. Oh, all right. So he says from LA. Any chance that was Josh, the jabroni from North Dakota?
Wait, what?
Oh, no, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Josh
Josh Dumel.
Dumel. Yep.
Yeah.
God bless vodka. You ever see that? When he was with Marnie
no.
at the game? He's with Swartzen, and I forget who else, and Marnie goes down there, and he was trashed. And he and Marnie grew up, like, very close to each other in North Dakota.
Yeah.
And at one point, just on FSN yells out, God bless vodka, and they cut away. It was great. It's one of my favorite
All right,
games.
so I looked up Dumel. He doesn't have anything in production about the Purge TV, but that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Vikings fan. I know he's
Hey, it made sense.
Twins.
Like Josh from LA, except I'm from
Yeah.
a TV show.
Yeah.
No big deal. Also, he used to be. Did he get the 0.01% of the Dolphins in the divorce with Fergie, or did she keep it?
I don't know.
I'm guessing she kept it.
The hell? He didn't want that anyways. Twitter questions. T-Bice1012. Favorite thing you still haven't done this summer?
State Fair.
Summer League.
State Fair's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at Sweet Martha's. Still
What?
love it. Yeah.
What's the secret?
It's the ingredients. I mean, I have no idea.
Is it fresh every day or is it frozen?
It has to be fresh.
It's
every day.
it's fresh every day. It's you get a huge block. I can't remember what the stuff is, but you can actually, if you go, I mean, it's essentially, but you can go. I worked at the main booth. You can go to the grandstand and actually see how it's done. Yeah.
I love that. Everyone used to talk like, "Oh, butter makes you fat," but now with the
and it's not butter. I can't remember. It's
now with the keto crowd coming in. It's like, oh yeah, baby.
Starts with an S, and I can't remember what the
shortening.
Yeah, the shortening is incredible. It's I still love it. It was a really good job.
What
are your fair food? I got a ton of crap for my fair foods, but I ate what was around the main booth.
I don't know. I haven't been to the fair in a long time, but
Really?
I have to go this year because I have a kid as required.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Yeah, kid friendly.
Also, we already determined the date we're going. It's going to be on a Wednesday, so hopefully the Wednesday second week. So you got the first wave of people in. The
It's
first
more
week.
the time that you go. Like you just want to go, even though it's warm during the day. It's always packed. Like it's incredible.
Yeah, but we got my buddy Nick. He's going to be going with us, and you've met Nick. He's fullback size. Like he's Linval.
He's the
like
man.
leading the way. I'm just gonna be back there, Rock Thomas.
To be
style.
fair, you literally see all kinds of people there. Like, it's sincerely, especially working there. You're serving all these kind of. I saw Drew Butera once.
Yeah.
It was when I was covering the Twins, and I was like, yeah, I know who you are. He kept a low profile, though. I don't think anyone really recognized.
Was he wearing a twin?
He was not.
See, I always thought that if you're in a sport where there's a lot of generic looking dudes, so not like height or size that is the dead giveaway, like basketball or football. Like if you're like a middle reliever on the Twins or like a fourth liner. I don't know if there's fourth liner in hockey. Yeah, just wear the team gear. No one will ever pick you out.
Yeah, the funny thing is none of those guys do. And someone would, though, because those are like the most diehard Minnesota people. Yeah. They're fans of the team and stuff. It's a good time, though.
All right, let's blast through these Twitter questions, and we'll go get some chicken. At Kyle Wilkin TV, most defensive snaps this year, Newman or Hughes?
That's a good question.
Man.
Hoping Hughes, probably Newman.
Yeah, I'm guessing Newman, although Hughes has apparently been picking up the defense faster than any defensive back Mike Zimmer's ever coached, he says, maybe. I think he said that. Maybe I'm making that up.
Also, more touchdowns this year, Kendall Wright or Treadwell?
Wow.
Kendall Wright.
Yeah.
Do you guys have no hope that Treadwell will...
I just looked up all the first-round receivers drafted since 2012.
Yeah.
And Treadwell is tied with A.J. Jenkins for having the least amount of touchdown passes.
Jeez. And Dotson hasn't been good either? Or no?
He's got a couple of touchdowns.
Dotson's been fine when he's on the field. He
Okay.
just been missing the field.
Which was the big concern of him coming out. At the Big Herman, whenever I hear the term training camp, I imagine leadership and teamwork camps I have attended in the past. Which players would take those team-building exercises too seriously in pursuit of the coveted Spirit Award?
Yeah, who would ruin the retreat?
Everson?
Mac would absolutely go too hard at a retreat.
Yeah.
I feel like Rudolph would use the word synergy a lot.
It's probably good.
It's too bad that Locke isn't on the team. He'd be very into synergy and econometrics.
Who would be the worst at trust falls?
Catching?
Who gets
fallen?
I'm trying to think of who gets distracted.
Okay, so who would be the most likely to screw up the fall portion?
Yeah.
And refuse to or jump too far, fall before anyone's ready, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Man.
There had to be someone in the past that was...
Patterson. But
Cordero,
sure.
I would not trust to catch me.
Yeah.
Court fall. They're like, Cordell, do it. Come on, do it.
Yeah, I think Cordero would run up to the... Because sometimes the trust falls are not just... You're standing next to each other. But sometimes a bunch of people have to catch one person. And I could see Cordero running up to the top of the thing and then just falling.
Yep.
Before anyone sets up or is ready.
Yep.
At catching, I guess I wouldn't necessarily want any of
Troy
the specialists to catch me. I wouldn't necessarily want any of the specialists to catch me, I guess, but I'm 5'4", so it's not like they're actually smaller than me.
Yeah. Blair
if
Walsh
I was
used to
another
be
football
jacked.
player,
Blair Walsh was actually jacked.
yeah, he was also my height.
Yeah.
If I'm Everson, Blair Walsh is not catching me.
Fair.
At the Bird Abides, how would you improve the Vikings radio calls? I think the verbal handoff from PA's play-by-play to Bursic analysis needs to be much smoother. The flow often feels awkward when Bursic shouts over PA. The duo is good, but can get much better with polish.
Well, I don't think it's going to be polished.
Put Reggie Miller in.
No.
He's got a full steam ahead. I don't know. Sam would be a better person to ask on this.
Yeah, Sam would be a better person.
He studies
yes. Would you rather
also Sam would be better than Bursic. No offense, Bursic.
Sam would be good. What would you rather on TV have the same people over and over again, kind of like the other sports do, or do you like having national people and their perspective?
I actually do kind of like it. I think I would get a little more. I mean, as much as I complain about, Aikman and Buck, who both actually have grown on me.
Sam stands by Buck.
I know Sam stands by Buck. Sam also watches. Sam also watches baseball, so he has an unfair perspective of
jerk.
Buck. No. Buck is really good at baseball.
Fair. Very fair.
And so he's got like a different perspective of Buck.
He also watches it technically.
And yeah, that's true, right. He says Buck is like a textbook.
Yes.
But like, I mean, and I've complained about like Chris Myers, and I've complained about that Fox Sports guy that was a UFC guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he's created his own memes at this point where, like, we still call Harrison Hunter.
Who is that guy?
Mike something.
Yeah. He was really good at the UFC, though. Like,
I'm sure
I bet, but I don't
like
think...
no way they'd promote him up.
It's
if
a very unique skill, though.
Like him and Rogan.
UFC.
They're good.
He
Can you imagine Rogan?
He screwed up Jared Allen's name, too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Would Rogan take a rip on the air? Like he does
yeah,
in his
absolutely.
podcast? Yeah.
Oh, Mike Goldberg.
That's it, yeah. So I've complained about those guys a lot, but I do genuinely enjoy hearing all the different voices. My timeline right now, for some reason, is ripping Tony Romo, but he was great for most of the season. He fell off in the playoffs, which is just so apropos.
So Tom Verducci and Ken Rosenthal are on Fox's baseball broadcast, and they're both high-end writers. Is there a writer you think would offer something to the broadcast? Or do you want
Sam.
Fair, other than Sam, other than our very own Sam Ekstrom, who would be great. Is there a national writer who you think should be on the broadcast?
It's such a unique skill. I have no idea.
Yeah. But I feel like if Tom Verducci and Ken Rosenthal could do it, you'd think.
No, I know. I'm just saying, based off of, like, me liking a writer would not necessarily mean it would translate.
And there's such a big difference between a guy who takes a couple days a week to craft a piece, as opposed to a football game. There's a reason why your color guys are like you're talking about football, you're communicating it every single day.
That's fair.
So it's difficult for me
That said, Andy Benoit.
Stop.
Jesus.
Just sheerly for the LOLs.
What a disaster. Hopefully it's for like a Bills-Browns game. Which actually, that would be Andy Benoit commentating a Bills-Browns game would be
Well, actually, the Chargers they're putting Daniel Jeremiah in the booth for the preseason games.
Okay, that sounds dope. But I mean, like having Mayock and Jeremiah for like the preseason games is a little bit different because they finally caved, right? And they had Mayock do some actual games.
Yeah,
that was like all right. That wasn't that great.
Yeah,
but for the preseason, he was great because he knew everything about everybody, and Jeremiah might do the same thing.
Yeah, it's smart. I think he should get a draft guy to, especially like the fourth preseason game. Yeah, this guy from Eastern Tennessee Tech. He's gonna be working at Petco next week.
It'd be funny to
but
get
he's a hip bender.
What if you just got like the third string quarterback from both teams, and they just have to do the booth, and that's it?
Would Sage be good?
Yeah, I mean he's got experience, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Although I'm worried he wouldn't stay on track.
Can you imagine? He's like,
if it's a preseason game, so it's like,
we start talking about the wall.
Let's talk about healthcare premiums for a second, guys.
From Vikes MN24, I don't know what the stats say, but from rewatching Kirk's last 3 seasons, he doesn't seem to perform well late in games. He tosses INTs late and close. Winnable games that result in losses about 3 times a season. Do you see the same thing?
I mean, that's like the knock.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's what people have been saying about him for a while. So if you've independently come to this conclusion, I think congratulations.
Yeah.
If you haven't, then I mean, we've heard it before.
Yeah. Besides that, you like that game against Tampa. Like, what's his signature win?
Because he hasn't won a playoff game, right? Right?
Nope.
Like he lost to the Packers.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, don't get on a bunch of national TV games, right? And so it's difficult for you to pick I don't think a quarterback needs to have a signature win for you to project him to do well going forward.
He needs his Heisman
he was
moment.
with Washington.
Right. He needs his Heisman moment. Is he actually? It's like I don't know if any of those things like stand up to like statistical analysis. I'll be writing a piece on that for the guide. His performance under pressure, his performance late in games. I think those are things where you can find a lot of evidence for, but aren't necessarily well supported, like on the whole, because people tend to remember mistakes much more than they remember like normal or very good performances. So I don't know if I would say that those things are things I'm super concerned about, but because he's a quarterback that I think is pretty reliant on the talent of his supporting cast, and in situations where that's not enough, he tends to falter. I would say that would appear in those situations, yes. So I would say I partially agree with this.
Bam. I partially agree. Actually, fully agree. Let's get out of here.
Wangs.
Let's go eat. Yeah. Reef, what are you working on besides that Kirk Cousins piece?
I'm working on the training camp guide. I put it out every year.
Yeah.
Ends up being like 80,000 words or something like that.
How much do you have done?
Like 25%. But I'm going to have most of it done by the end of the week, and hopefully we'll get it published this time next week.
What's the 25% you have done?
It's scouting reports.
This is Egan. They have an outlet mall. They have Lebanon Hills.
I will not be writing about Egan.
Oh.
It's got scouting reports on 86 of the 90 players. I'm not doing specialists. It's got how to watch training camp. It's got some special articles, one about Brian O'Neill, hopefully one about Laquan Treadwell, hopefully one about Kirk Cousins. And the guide used to cost $25. Now it'll be at zonecoverage.com, where you can get it, I think, for $20 as part of the subscription. Yep. So you subscribe to Zone Coverage, and you only have to pay $20 for the guide. Plus, you get a shirt with my face on it, which is a thing that people might want.
It's beautiful.
And you also get access to a bunch of the other exclusive content, including all the draft stuff that we did. I think we've got exclusive MLB content coming up, exclusive NBA content coming up.
Yeah, I think Danny eventually will put some stuff there.
So you get all of that for less money than it used to cost. And people tend to like my guide. So
yeah.
Also, Tom, what's going on at zonecoverage.com?
I'll be covering the Twins. They're on a long homestand trying to kind of keep things alive, or at least around 500. So Brandon and I are working on that. Mitch will be doing links. We even have Saints coverage with Stevie, our intern. Dane, look for Dane's stuff in Vegas. He's done a really, really good job on the Wolves draft picks and talking with a lot of people out there.
He might not come back.
He may not come back. He's been there for 2 weeks, which is 2 long weeks. But yeah, Dane in Vegas, Mitch, Brandon, and I are doing Twins.
There we go. Subscribe, become a winner. Do not be a loser. Be a winner. Shows available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, zonecoverage.com/machine. But for Reef and Tom, I'm Andy saying, sayonara, and bye-bye. I'll talk to you next week.